I'm back, guys. Let me know if you are back.
Yep, I'm here.
Mr. Viraj.
Yep.
Okay. So, how's everything so far, guys?
Very good.
Okay. So, we'll touch the packet inspection flow now, and then we'll learn some debugs, and then we'll conclude the day today. Tomorrow, if you like to take a day off, you can take, or if not, we'll go to the management server. Okay. Management server things like some troubleshooting, some understanding on that, uh, and then we'll go and touch to the VPN, right?
Thank you.
So if you want to revise the concept, come up with a question, you can have a day off, or if you are okay with this, we can have the conversation. Will be in a link, and there will be no disconnection. So it's up to you guys. Let me know.
I'd like a day off to go back and go through some questions, like just review everything once again before we go back. What about
Yeah, because now after this we'll be moving to the new chapters like the management server thing
yeah,
and the VPNs, right?
yep,
Because all this deep analysis what we have is going to be in here, and we uh, should be uh, able to troubleshoot the things now after today's lecture. So whatever the problem will be faced in a life with respect to checkpoint, I will give you an idea how to troubleshoot that, and you will be able to troubleshoot these things, right? So let's talk about this guy, packet inspection flow. So before that, just give me the heads up why we use CPD. Anyone?
CPD is the main worker or main one which sends traffic or messages to firewall and to the management back and forth. It's a service. It's a user service. User.
You are mixing the thing. So basically, the messages and everything is more of your FWD. CPD is more of your firewalling, doing the SIG, doing the status monitoring like that. Okay. So let's understand how the packet will come and how it will process by these processes like that stuff. So when the packet arrives at a security gateway, it intercepted by the NIC on the inbound direction, right? So for example, this is my packet, go, and it arrives here, then it will process by this inbound direction. Once the packet match against the rule base, so when I say, remember we have discussed these things when we talk about the ability monitor, small I, big I, small O, big O. You know this thing, Raj? I know the sir having the idea. How about you, Raj?
Yeah.
So can you tell me when we see I, when we see big I, when we see big small O, when we see big O?
I'm not remembering those things, but I read
Yeah.
to
Yeah, no,
this one.
see, don't hesitate if you don't know this thing because this is the important part of this. So, consider this is my firewall, okay? And this firewall, I have rules imposed. So rules are here. Then we have a routing also, we have netting also, right? Everything inside that. So consider this is the inside direction. So I'm coming from the cloud. This is the consider this is the direction. When the packet from this machine hits to your firewall, as soon as it hit to your firewall, immediately on this AWD monitor you will see small r. Okay, and also it indicates that what are the firewall policy rules, hit by the firewall, processed by the firewall, those get this thing verified. So if you see on your able to monitor output, if you see small I, you will consider that okay, the policy get verified and at least the packet is reached to your firewall. Okay. Once that is done, you will see something like a big I, right? Big I indicates that whether the packet is routed to the right direction, whether uh, it's for some of your web server, DMG server, and which interface it is assigned that uh, web server. So if it is diverted to that direction, you will see big I. And once the direction happen, then the netting happens. You will see small o, and once it reach to your end destination, you will see big O. Okay, so this is how it works. So consider when your packet hits to your NIC, okay, in inbound direction, it's coming from some cloud. Consider uh, first thing what happens, the firewall kernel inbound chain begins inspecting those packets, right? If it's a new packet, it will go through all the firewalling stages, the one we have discussed. If it's an old one, the details are already there, it will match based on that. Okay. So once the packet is matched against the rule base, a log generated and sent from the kernel to the user mode process. So here I have given a direction number one, number two, and then immediately the FWD process come into the picture, number three. So once the packet is matched against the rule base, a log is generated and sent from the kernel to the user mode processes. So FWD at the kernel mode will send that packet to the FWD at the user mode. So number four, right? So FWD process on the security gateway send the logs to the FWD on the management server. After that, that packet is getting forwarded to FWM process via CPD process, right? This is what happens internally, and FWM process sends the log to the relevant smart console applications. Like you have a smart log, the logs we are seeing into this smart log application or smart event application, whatever it is, and you will be able to see those things here. So at the same time, depending on the routing decision made by the OS, except for the specific scenarios like VPN routings, the packet is routed to the selected NIC, the number 6 direction after this. So if it's destined to some outbound direction, it will route it to that. But we have to see the firewalling chain, inbound direction and outbound direction. So one direction, it has to verify all the stages. Similarly with the other side also. So for the outbound direction also, it has to verify all the stages. Any questions so far on this?
If traffic initiated from the outbound, then how will be the flow?
Outbound direction is same thing, nothing will be changed. So see, you have some your PC here which you're trying to reach to the internet, right? So same thing will be happen. Direction will be anything. If you see those chain model, you know, in and out, whatever we have in these directions, which will come into the picture, right? And similarly, the processes will become into the picture. There will be no difference. That's what I said at the end. Each direction, similar process will be reapplied. Same will be reapplied. There's no difference there. Okay. So now this is how this linked together all these processes, these daemons, and now what we will do, we'll see some lab stuff. This is very important thing which we generally use for the debugging purpose. So FWCTL debug 0, what it means, when we run any sort of debugs, we use this FWCTL debug 0. Just don't read this statement, just understand. So FWD CTL debug 0 will make all your debug 0, or it will unset all your previous debug if at all running to 0. So it indicates that, or it's given throughput or output that, okay, the debug right now is not running on your firewall. So always whenever we do the debug, we'll see this. We usually run FWCTL debug 0 to not to get other debug conflict the debug you are running on. When we talk about the kernel debug, we have flexibility to define the buffer size. So if you ask me this question, right, if we don't have enough memory, what we need to do? So if the machine don't have enough memory, you try to give the buffer size there. Okay, whatever as per your requirement. This is the default one, what the checkpoint says. So give it a buffer size for that debug, and based on this buffer size, the debug will perform. Then what module you want to debug? So we have IPS module, we have firewalling module, whatever module. So with the M indication option, give it a module name and set the debug flag. I'll be showing you the details on the models what we have in a bit, but for now just understand you have to give it this syntax. Then actual this is the same thing with the flags and all. You can give the debug details in there. You can use this format the way you like. Then actually you want here the debugs get started. Okay, now you want to store that output somewhere, so you can use this command fwctlk debug, give it this option, and if you like to store wherever, you can use this thing. So instead of varlog location, if you want to use some other location, you can use that, and whatever that happen here will store into this file. Okay, now after having this details in place, you have to reproduce your issue. Okay, so whatever the issue you are facing, you have to reproduce that issue, so that this whatever the debugs we are running, those will capture those details. Okay, and once that is done, you have to stop the debugs whatever we are running, right?
When you say module name, that will be the module you're troubleshooting, like FWM or FWD, CPD, whatever.
No.
No.
So those are the daemons,
Okay.
and the models are. Let me have that slide for you.
Mhm.
I have that slide here somewhere. Okay. I don't think so. I have a slide, but let me talk on this. The models what we have. Let me look into my database. Let me just or the best part is let me do this. Let me search it. Give me a minute, okay? I'm just looking for the right details.
The
Mm, Okay. Sometimes it's easy to find the details over the web. Let me know if you guys are able to see this.
Mhm.
So these are the modules what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Okay. So for the acceleration application, this is the module. For application control, there is a module called APPI. For clustering, for checkpoint QoS, for the firewalling FW, like that. Let's have this thing handy with you guys. So why this is important? So only where I have mentioned the model, for example, for the PPT here, if I mention if you're trying to troubleshoot say DLP sort of things,
mm,
uh, instead of this model name, you have to give that model name which is present at the DLP model. Okay, and accordingly the flags and everything what you need to set, and you just have to run the debug, and we will get a desired output. So let's have these details handy with you. So later on, you will, if you want to debug some specific models, or if you are working on some specific model, you can wait for this. PC becomes slow now. I don't know why. Because of your question.
sorry.
Yeah. Because I did a lot of searching. You don't like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me close this guy. If you look in the way I see the checkpoint firewall, it's very easy to deliver work on the checkpoint firewall. Uh, just we need to follow the approach. Uh, Whatever the debug we need to perform, we can easily perform that. So we don't have worry part on that. Let me just close my couple of applications so that it will free up some space for name from the memory. This guy. Let me stop this attack here for now. Okay, let's come back to this. So here, any question on this? We'll be seeing in the lab now, this thing. So this is what the lab I think will do. A user is complaining about the web browsing issue. They are trying to reach website but not getting desired response. How we can address such sort of issues, right? You based on your understanding, you know that if it's talking about something like the URL filtering kind of things, you have to change this model here. Okay, but right now we are just thinking about the whatever the communication happening from my firewall, whether it's getting drop or what happening on that, you know we'll talk on this, right? I'll tell you the scenario now. So if you see the lab, this Windows server will try to generate traffic from that, but I just want to tell you one more thing here. Let me log into the smart management. Before that, we need to start the process. So for now, I can see this is my IP address for the checkpoint firewall 23.192. Let me write it down. 23, 192, 98, 126. Okay. Uh, if I come here and let me check the IP address of this guy. IP config. It's 201. Let me go here on the logs and this is my source and this is my destination. Sorry. What was the IP address? 23, 192, 98, 126. I don't see anything here. Source is 201. Destination is this. Last 7 days, I don't see any traffic. Now let's go ahead and generate some traffic from here, the checkpoint side, and let's see if we capture anything here. Okay. Source is this, destination is this. Let me see what we are getting from the source. This thing. And as lookup, let's do it here. www.checkpoint.com. Okay, so there is no proper connection here. That's why we are not getting anything. But if I do the reset to anything like that, let's see what we are getting. So basically there is no proper communication. Let's try to tackle that first. Connection properties. Let me see what we have here. 192.168.1.3, where we're supposed to reach. Okay, it is there. Right. Let's do this. W status. It sends standard policy. Okay, standard policy says allow anything, which looks good. But why we are not getting any response here? 192.168.1.201. This is my default gateway. Close. FSS settings. What is here? It's a bridge automatic. Here it looks good. If I say ping this guy, I can reach there. Ping .8. Request timeout. Let's see what my log says. Okay. It says everything is allowed. Okay. What we will do right now, we are seeing some issue here, right? I'm not able to access my website. I'm trying to do that, but I don't see any desired result. Checkpoint.com. Should access, but it's saying no internet, something like that.
Have you mentioned DNS?
That's what we're going to troubleshoot. So for now, if you see, services are any, right, from this source is going to the outside world, and it's accepting the packet with rule number 1. Okay, let have this situation. Okay, maybe the DNS issue or maybe the policy is not pushed, I don't know. Okay, so consider this is what we are facing issue. Now what we will do, we run the debug and try to reproduce the issue. Okay, and see what output we are getting based on this these commands. So let's go to this guy 192.168.1.3 admin. Okay, now let's, you able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
I mean this both output together. I'm just going to run the same thing. So let's clear out the debug fwctl debug 0. So we are resetting all the debugs. Let's say the kernel size ctl debug buffer size 32768. So okay, buffer size is got set. Now let's do this fwctl debug. We'll debugging our firewall module, right? We are talking about the connection which are getting dropped by the firewall. So let's do this. Now let's store this output to the any location where we want to have this output. So I'm storing it, say, at the var log, and I'll give it a file name drop windows, something like that. And the extension I would like to give dbg. You can give it like a text, whatever it is you like. Now once this debug started, we'll go ahead and we'll try to, debug is started. I don't know why it's paused here. WCTL debug, the output will store here. Okay, so it will store the output there. Let's go ahead and reproduce the issue. So let's go to this Windows and try to run the checkpoint site again. And now the issue is reproduced. Just wait for a couple of seconds and we'll stop this debug. So the site is not accessing what we are seeing. Control C and then fw ctl debug 0. Debug is stopped. Let's go to the var log and let's see ls.list. The file name is there present. Yeah, so we have this file here, right? So what we will do, we have two options. We can look in this file from here itself, like less and the file name. We'll see the output, okay? Or what we will do, let's take this file into the Windows and see the output, okay? So let's do this. SCP. This guy need to be changed with this. Change sales, yes. Bean bash, I don't know. Let me go to the SCP and get that file. 192, 168, 1.3. Admin. Give it a file name. Let's go to the var log. This file. What was the name of the file?
Windows.
Yeah, drop Windows. Let me press drop. Hmm. Yeah, this guy. Let's check on desktop somewhere. Mm, New training, desktop. Let me have this file here on license directory. Let's go to the desktop, license directory, open, now this one. So let's open this file. Right. So this is what the file we have generated, and we are going to see the output now. So whatever we did, it start with that. Okay, we set the debugging flag, and if you want to have the model itself, you can refer this sort of output. So if you see the model and the meaning of that model, what is that is given here. For example, uh, if it's a firewall model, it gives you like what you need to troubleshoot like that. So whatever the model we have present into this firewall, you'll get the details here as well. This on this file. So this is one of the best part of this debug. You will getting all the model details as well. If you're trying to debug VPN, you will get a VPN things like that. So let's now see the thing one by one. So debug started, and I can see the firewall kernel lookup cache, and we have debugged the firewall module. So whatever the we have on the firewall module, whatever the traffic is passing on the firewall module, we'll be getting all those details here. Okay. So if you like, you have to search the file which is your interest. So for example, if I do Control F and I put IP address 192.168.1.201, okay, I will directly come to this IP address, and I will see what things going on with that. So this is the IP address, is my the IP address from where we are trying to send a packet. So what whatever we were having into the kernel table, we are able to see that. Let's do one more thing here. We are interested on the checkpoint side. Let's see if that IP address I'm able to find here. 23 192 98 126. We're not able to find this IP address because the connection was not reached to the internet, so we will not having the here. But maybe let's try this www.checkpoint. I'm just saying the various aspect what we can do. So both things are not there. So we have only choice now to look with the IP address 192.168 1.201. So this is what, excuse me, Yeah. So initially we have some communication for the 8.8.8. That things we are seeing. Let's look more on this. If what else we are getting on this. So there are a lot of entries. Let's look at in this way also. If I want to see something like drop, too many results. Mm, if you see, we ran that 8.8.8 ping, and here what I'm getting for that, say it's dropped by the, you know, firewall first outbound, uh, failed to get outbound interface. Action is dropped. So somehow I
So
can
hello,
see, yeah,
I need to leave this session. You can just give me the link later. Session.
okay. Can you be 5 minutes more?
Okay.
Just 5 minutes, okay? So as we are seeing, there is a dropped, okay? There is a reason that okay, it's failed to get the outbound interface, something like that. Uh, Based on your issues, if you look out the things, just filter out the keywords, and check out why it's getting dropped or something like that. Right now, I'm getting that okay, it's getting failed to get to the outbound interface like that. I'm assuming that okay, maybe the one of the issue is the firewall policy, which is not probably on a place here. So what I will do, let's try to install the policy for now to the gateway IP address and try to do the same thing. So let's try to install the policy now. So looking at such files, we come to know that something is getting dropped. Uh, that's why we are not able to, reach to the desired output. And it's giving us, more detail like, fail to get the outbound interface. This also indicates me that, okay, my inside traffic is not going to the outside. Maybe there is no proper routing, one, and second, there is no default route, and third is no netting. Uh, Give me 2 minutes, Raj. We'll conclude this here.
No,
Let's
no, you
try
can,
to
if
hit.
you want, if you want, you can continue.
No, no, no.
I'm
The
just,
main part, I just want to conclude this lab that why we are not reaching to the destination, and then you can feel free to leave. And tomorrow, let me know like you want off or what, you guys.
no, no, day after tomorrow we can take maybe because we will get
Yeah,
all
of
errors
course. Just go
once
ahead
upon
and
day.
brush up these concepts, right? Uh,
What about
yeah,
the
tomorrow. Yeah, he's okay with this. Just another 2 3 minutes and we'll conclude this. 192, 168, 1.3 is my. I'm just trying to add the route as well so that we'll see if that will also help. So let me go ahead into the static route. Let me add a default route here. Normal. Two, 168.1. It's saying ICMP redirect packets are not allowed. Uh, but what about this website? Okay, now the connection is there. So what I did, I just changed the, add the route here. Let me show you. So this is, how you can troubleshoot the stuff. So my file was giving me an indication, this file, that okay, the outbound, failed to get to the outbound interface. So it give me a clue that okay, maybe the routing is not there, or maybe the netting is not there to reach to the outside world. Now thinking on those 2 points, what I did, I just added the hide net, and I just added the route, and it started working. Okay. At this point, I'm not sure it was a NAT or this was just the normal thing, the route. So for to confirm that, I just just uncheck this hide NAT, and I'll just install the policy. And if still works, we'll conclude that it was a routing issue. So I want you guys to understand the flow of troubleshooting the model, what we have just troubleshooted, and how we can look into these files and come to the conclusion whether what is causing an issue.
So this issue, you weren't able to see it in the logs. You could see it in the firewall in the gateway.
Right. So
Uh,
there are certain logs which we won't able to see into the log table. So for such thing we need to do the kernel debug, the model debug.
got it.
But are we able to find it out in
What?
that log that where it is getting dropped? It's showing that a drop, but it's not showing the exact but at least we can just find it out from the small I,
See the
capital I.
kernel connections, the model. Okay. Uh, it will give you the details like what is happening on that packet. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to see where is getting dropped, you have another command which I ran here, uh, which is a zdebug command. See this command, fwctl. Let me just stop this command, fwctl zdebug. This command is more for your kernel debugs and to find out where it's getting dropped. Okay, so basically it's giving me an error, it's giving me a message that the packet 192.168 initiating is getting dropped because of the reason there's no ICMP redirect packet is allowed, something like that. Sometimes it gives you the desired rules also, which rule is not dropping it if it's not dropped by the implied rule, something like that.
If okay, if it goes with this command in the production, it will not be bad, right? Because
No,
specific.
there's no impact. This
So
command
okay,
is very handy.
okay. Can you just give me? Can we put the specific source and destination in that, or I need to IP address?
Here you only able to put the one IP address, either your source or destination, whatever
Then
you
it will
want
be
to.
difficult to me, right? Because if lots of traffic is getting
Mhm.
dropped over there, to find out that specific one, it would be difficult to me. Uh, can
See,
we
if
add any
you
grep
are
for
getting
one
dropped
more IP
from,
address, like source
we can
or
try. We can
destination kind
try.
of thing?
We can give it try. We can give say break one more IP, but it is problem is
Because
that
the whole thing,
it will
right?
not give you
For
the right output, right? If you want specifics like this, you have to go to the log smart log and run this command. But for the kernel level, you won't be find that. So here, if you're thinking, okay, this is my source or destination from where I'm getting dropped, uh, this is what at least you can do here. So last thing I want to check, the policies got installed. Let's see if it's still working. Still working. That means the message what I was getting here is dropped or something like that. It's because of the no natting, this routing in place, like that. So it's more of your understanding also, how you know interpret these messages, and based on that you do the troubleshooting, like basic troubleshooting on this. So at the last comment, we have seen uh, these commands for how you can do the kernel debugs. You know, you'll be having these slides with you by end of the course, so you can refer this thing and the example like this. Sure, we can do these things. The remaining things now is your management, server, and your VPN debugs. So what we will do, let's have a day off tomorrow. Okay.
No, so
See,
this was not day of tomorrow. Day after tomorrow
mhm.
will be zero. So let's say
Sorry,
not. Is it possible to take the day or take off on Saturday?
you want off on Saturday, so tomorrow
Day
we
after
can
tomorrow.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, you
Well,
said
at
that.
least I will get the whole day to cover up all the stuff, pending stuff.
Okay. So what we will do, we'll cover tomorrow the management server part. Okay. And on Saturday, take a off entire day. On Sunday, and we'll talk about the VPNs. Is that fine on like both of you,
Yeah. It's yeah, no problem for me.
right? Just final feedback. How is the training going on? Is helpful now?
Very powerful. There's too much stuff, so